Welcome. Paco says hi. And here with the triple up on the Nike Zoom Trailscape boot. Didn't really mean to corner the market on or anything, although they are increasingly hard to find due to age. These released in 1996. The leather is incredible. Just literally incredible. There's no real way other to put it, because of the variety of wear, the variety of leather tanning at the factory. They get a different coloring of brown when you moisturize and take care of them. This one is a size 12, and I hand waxed these paracord laces that I cut to size and then put brass aglets on them to match the hardware, and matches the swoosh nicely. The embroidery on these is actually a forest green, or Nike might call it a sable green. The orange hit on these is really always a standout to me, and in person I got to see Cliff Robinson wear these in 1996, and I got to play paintball against him at a place called Malala Splat Action at a really large birthday party I was a member of, and he showed up with his cousin in a blue Hummer that he used to drive. In fact, it's featured on an old news story because he was waving his paintball gun around, and he was pulled over because of them thinking it was a real weapon. This pair here is a size 13. These do run short, like substantially short, I would say. So 12 fits more like 11 and a half. 13 is more like a 12 and a half. However, they're very wide. If you have a wide foot, this may be the widest Nike pair of any Nike I've ever owned or tried on. This has the original laces. I hand waxed these very lightly and then melted the wax in. Also refinished the aglets with heat shrink tubing to preserve the original plastic on them underneath, so that they still have a bit of a firmness to it. These aren't really ropes, they're actually flat, and they have to be a certain amount of flat in order to get through and past the rivet here, which these all swivel. If you need to move them for cleaning, they do swivel. I like that figure 8 bite there. It's kind of a cool one. The collars are suede on these. I think the suede that came out the nicest was on the size 12. This is the one I was able to restore, and really, you can really feel the nap on these. Look at where my fingers been. And you know, it's buffed nubuck. It's not really suede, so it is suede, but it has been shaved off, so you don't have a lot of fuzz to play with. This one I kind of accidentally and then purposely put black rock moisturizing content on it, and it seals it and makes it more weatherproof, but it does kind of erase the nap. Didn't do it on the left shoe, although I may come back around and change that. So this one came out still a little bit fuzzy and has a nice feel to it. But you know, I mean, it's definitely more fragile than this gorgeous leather here. One pair is already spoken for. One I'm gifting, and these are my keepers. I do have the same original laces for them, but I loved highlighting the orange, so I found some laces that happen to be just long enough to make work. If they go all the way to the top, because they have some elasticity, I can actually reach the top and still make a small bow if I need to tie them that high. They are a very, very tall boot relative to, I'd say, 80s basketball, late 80s basketball kind of height, like a Command Force. I think there was an Air Force, what was it, 3 or something along those lines. That was also really, really tall. It is akin to that. It's definitely one of the taller hiking boots I've ever seen. I love this newer style of ACG. It's funny to say new now that they're very vintage, but when they switched to the triangle logo, it kind of changed the whole vibe of ACG, and they still use some accent colors without dipping into like the pastels as much. And I feel like everything got a little more muted, and ACG really stood out to me more in this kind of like 95, 96 era and including like mountain biking and a lot of other forays that they dipped into. Anyway, incredibly well-made boot. You can see the cut of the leather, the millage, how thick it is, all the way around. Just they're dual stitched all throughout. I mean, this is a legit high quality boot. There's no two ways about it. They stand the test of time. The Zoom Air is this. It actually has a plastic firm base at the bottom, which has a swoosh on it. This is with the Zoom Air insole removed, versus this having the Zoom Air insole in. And the Zoom is actually a full-length Zoom on the bottom of the insole unit. So kind of a cool setup that way, because you can remove it. Of course, it does remove the air. What do you think, Paco? But it does give you some insole options. They're very easy to remove, not really glued down. So anyway, that's a little review of these, and I did want to show some matching socks to this era that I've had ever since these were new. These probably predate it by just a year or two. It's Nike ACG socks in green and cream. And then these, I have to think, were probably made for this boot. I've had 2 pairs of these, and they're kind of a techier sock with the construction. And the orange swoosh obviously perfectly matches those. So yeah, really nice to have some options to go with these. And because they fit so wide and I have kind of a narrower foot, it's nice to have a thicker sock to fill up the gap. Anyway, that's the Nike Trailscape. Blast from the past, 96, and my 3 will be down to 1 soon. But it was really fun refinishing these. Every single one of them I hand refinished. They were all very dusty, dirty, dried out, and yeah, not looking anywhere near this good. So nice to be able to give these things new life and find new owners and have one to keep. Cheers.